Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf here. I was just thinking about something. I was listening to one of the radio shows, and they were talking about how, kids back in the day would go to church and listen to the pastors and Sunday teachers and all that stuff, and about referencing things that kids weren't allowed to listen to, or what the parents weren't allowed to listen to back then, stuff that they knew they couldn't listen to, And they talk about how kids they are, and how garbage is out there, and they say, who was that talking? Anyway, on the radio show, and they were talking about, we need to hold the record companies accountable, the music executives accountable, and all this, and other people accountable. They really didn't spend too much time talking about holding parents accountable. They said community. They don't say parents, they say community. I'm not out here to raise the kids, okay? I have my own kids to raise. Probably only have one or two, but still. Because I tried that method back in the 1990s. Okay? Oh, they had problems. Well, I don't want you telling my kids what to do. I don't want you having that discipline. Okay, fine. I've had a couple of them tell me. I said, okay, fine. Don't bring them around. Bottom line. I'm not going to be nasty to them or anything, but I'm going to tell them those reality about what you need to do and what you don't need to do. They ain't wanting to get to that. Really? You didn't want anybody trying to school your kids on life? You didn't? Really? That's goofy to me. That's goofy as all get out. You really didn't want to teach your kids about trying to stay away from drugs and all that other stuff? No. Okay, fine. Because I'm somebody that didn't go around doing that kind of stuff. All right. But here's my thing though. I noticed that, and that was one of the things I want to talk about earlier. Churches, in particular, and black media, the one thing I noticed they do ignore a lot of times, and they don't want to talk about, is abstinence. They never want to, talk about why it's important to be abstinent when you're a teenager or growing up out here in this wild world. They don't want to talk about what the root cause of the problem is about all these bad behavior kids, because it ain't totally all of the bad behavior kids' fault, and I'll say that. You gotta blame it on the environment. You have to blame it on square rooted on the parents. Because if the parents ain't right 99.9% of the time, the kids ain't gonna be either. Let's be real about that. And that's whether they're with the kids or not. But yet, we don't want to talk about, we got all these, kids out here we got to take care of. But you don't want to talk about the fact that you got too many women out here being loose in the caboose, having kids for everybody, and not taking any personal responsibility to take care of them or themselves. We should be teaching our kids about making yourself number one before you start making number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Real talk. I mean that's just my personal take on it, because I kind of feel like we created part of our own problem. In this day and age, we created part of why we having the problem, because we create our own poverty. On some respect, I know some people, how we gonna create our problem? We ain't no wealth. No. Think about what I'm saying. If you have yourself and you out here with a job working at McDonald's, and you decide to have 2 or 3, 4 kids working the same job for 4 or 5 years, expected to get $20 an hour, it's not gonna happen. Expect to live off that salary. You creating a poverty of wealth. Wealth of poverty, not a wealth of growing, or of building, a wealth of poverty. That's what you're doing. It's not helping you. It ain't helping all them kids you had. And I'm gonna be honest. I know it sounds like I'm being stereotypical, but I'm really not. I just use that as an example, because we aim low to be low. And if you ain't low, you're going to stay there. Seriously. I had a conversation with somebody like that about that last night. And of course, guess who they tried to defend? Their kid. I was like, you know what? I am done. I'm done. This is why I don't, try to get into those kind of conversations with black women sometimes, because some of y'all don't want to hear the truth. You want to ignore it. You want to move it aside and pretend like it didn't exist. And I'm like, I just, well, okay, then don't talk to me. Because if you're not going to be honest with yourself up front about a conversation we're having, then don't talk to me. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You may fool some of the people half the time, but you're not going to fool all the people all the time. Let's be real. And at the end of the day, you're not going to fool yourself, because you know what you're up against. You know what you had to deal with. BS rolls down here all day, 24/7, 365, infinite. And it rolls, it keeps rolling continuously. We like that. Sometimes that just makes me sick to my stomach thinking about that, man. We revel in drama, and we revel in more in controversy. Ever since the internet's been around for at least the better part of the last 25, 30 years, what do you see? Kids on people's lawns, like they were on mine the last couple of years, filming fights. I'm serious. I've seen it. That's what you use the internet for. Don't know a program to wipe the ass with. But they know how to film all. World Star. They know how to do all that mess with words, all that stuff. Take, for example, I did a video. Well, actually, I pulled a video from an incident that happened about 2 years ago. That was originally the video was on World Star Hip Hop. I think it might have been on World Star Hip Hop. It was on some video. It was a private video. It was a video somebody posted. And it was this mother. As a matter of fact, it was the mother's boyfriend. 2-week-old baby. She drugged that baby around like a rag doll. I mean, literally. And I sit there and watched it. It was 8 minutes long. I cried my ass off. I cried my ass off. It was sad. It was one of the saddest things I ever see a parent ever do to a child. Specifically, physically. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That thing got over 1,500 hits. That was the first damn near viral video I ever had. And I had to pull it off. I was actually ashamed to show it. It wasn't originally my video. It was a video I actually pulled that somebody had posted online. I think it was a goofy boyfriend. Because he was the one doing the filming. And didn't do a damn thing about it. One of the biggest simps in the history of simp. Anyway. And I as a responsible YouTuber, as a parent that raised the kids, especially a boy, because that was a boy, it was a baby boy. I could no longer sit there and condone the viewing of a video like that to people when all they wanted to do was just see the carnage. And I could not humanly allow that to keep going on, so I actually removed the video on my own recognizance. It just wasn't right. Every time I tried checking the views, it made me sick to my stomach. I said, I was just doing this just for the views. I didn't give a damn about the content or about what happened to that baby, which at some point, of course, I did. But the mother in the later interview, which I posted that as well, I don't know why I raised that one, because they didn't show it anywhere at that point on this other video. The mother tried to defend the daughter. Oh, well, the daughter has some male issues. She had a bad day. And this is what the problem is I want to talk about coddling grown-ass kids. Okay? You got black people still do that. Children be wrong. I mean, grown adult children still doing stupid shit, and the parents are still, coddling. You can't do that. At some point, you got to let that bullshit go. You old to be coddling a kid. You know, especially when this crazy woman did this to your grandchild. Shoot, man, please. I can't condone it. I'm sorry. I will not condone bullshit like that. Will not do it for anybody. Anytime, anywhere. Not going to happen. Not on my watch. I will never condone that shit. To me, that was one of the saddest things I've ever seen on YouTube. Ever. And it broke my heart. You know? They should have locked up the mother just for saying what she said and the daughter. It made no damn sense. Definitely the daughter. But she was talking about, well, she was on her meds. I mean, she was making all kinds of excuses. I said, you know, never said that the daughter was completely wrong for what she did. Never said I'm going to have to take my grandkid from my daughter. No. And she said, well, the daddy wasn't there. Okay, well, we know that's a gimmick. It's always like that because you mess with no shit guys. But it was just the fact that she was completely trying to defend that woman for doing the one thing I never thought I ever seen any black woman do. At least not on video. You know. It was a shame. And that's when I decided I was going to be a more responsible YouTuber. I was going to be posting that kind of bullshit on there. Nothing like that. I really couldn't condone that. I'm sorry. I was not going to condone no BS like that. Wasn't going to happen. Was not going to happen. I wasn't going to do it, period. Wow, y'all people can't wait. Somebody go. Wait, folks. Man. It was just ridiculous. You know. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know. It's just, this world's messed up and people condone ignorance and stupidity. Even online. You know, I got more to say about it. This is just part of what I'm going to say about it. You know, because then you know, people say, I'm going to get my kid this computer. How much it's going to cost for this new computer? You know, what kind of, you know, what can I get for $100? Not a great computer, even now. You probably get a better deal on, but you know, I'm like, but that's another whole story. I'll talk about that in another podcast. Like I said, we gotta get out reveling in controversy and shit, because that's what a lot of us do online. And a lot of us, at some point, need to just grow the fuck up. I'm out.